y'all? It's Boss Beta Coach. So in this lesson, y'all, we're going to be going over different ways to build up your credit score. So now to the fun part. Understanding credit is also important. A lot of people think that the score is more important than your profile, but the profile is what's going to allow you to get approved for everything. The score is just a number. We're going to get into some different ways that y'all can work on building up your credit profile. So repairing your credit is just the process of removing those negative accounts, the negative information off of your credit profile. To build up a higher credit score, we're going to have to replace those negative accounts with positive accounts that are open and actively reporting to the credit bureaus every single month. Now, after you started the repair process and you removed a lot of debt and information off your credit profile, it can still be hard for you to get approved for credit cards, loans, and stuff like that. So in order to, build up a credit profile, you're going to have to start off ground zero. So you may have to get secured credit cards, pay those on time, and they'll gradually, graduate into a more secure credit card. Well, unsecured credit card, you may have to do credit builder accounts. My favorite ones are Self, Cobalt, Kickoff, Ava. These accounts, you pay a small minimum fee each month and they report to the credit bureaus, and they're going to report as a primary account. But you do have to pay these every single month on time. On time is key to building up a higher credit score. The banks want to see stability. So if you're someone who constantly pays late, you're going to have a harder time building up a credit score. The banks is rating your ability to pay back debt on time. Okay, so we have to start getting into habit of putting our bills on auto pay, and just setting it and forgetting it and just, paying these bills when they're due. Not after the due date, not after the closing date. We have to pay them before they're even due. So those accounts they'll report as a primary. And then that's when trade lines come into play. A lot of people think that trade lines is a quick fix, a magical solution to building up a higher credit score. If you still have any kind of negative information on your credit profile, the trade lines are not going to help you out as much as you think, because you still have negative information. So even though you added a trade line, and a trade line may have a credit limit of $20,000 and it may have been opened in 2015, which is great. But if you still have 6 late payments, a repo, and some student loans reporting, that trade line is not going to help you as much as if you were to remove those negative items off your credit profile. That trade line is supposed to replace what your credit profile is lacking. So if your credit profile, let's say you deleted all the debt off your credit profile. When you're removing items off your credit profile, you're restructuring the profile and you're rearranging the score. So you're deleting credit age, credit utilization. It's a lot of stuff that's changing when you're repairing your credit. And that's why it's really important to understand your score and your report. So what the trade line is going to do is replace everything you just deleted. So let's say you delete an account from Capital One you had for 10 years, but it had 10 late payments. And you weren't able to get those late payments removed, but you was able to get the entire account removed. Now, when you erase that entire account, you just erased 10 years worth of credit age. Credit age is the biggest portion of your score. The biggest portion of your score is going to be credit age. The longer you look stable, with your finances, the more banks are going to trust you. So if you add a trade line that replaces at least 10 years worth of credit age that you just removed, that's what's going to boost your score up super, super fast and super, super high. Let's say you have no accounts reporting after you just deleted all the negative items off your credit report and you don't have any accounts now. Let's say you only got one account that's on your credit profile. It's going to be still hard to get approved. So that trade line can act as the authorized users are going to be authorized users, but they'll still report to your credit bureaus and they'll still do the same thing for your account as if it was your account. So you're going to piggyback off of someone else's good finance history and their good credit history. That's going to report to your credit profile, and in turn, it's going to boost up your score and build you a better profile. And trade lines are a temporary fix. So if you purchase in trade lines, usually the trade lines last anywhere between 30 to 60 days. Now you can renew trade lines, but trade lines can get pretty expensive. If y'all want to purchase trade lines, the only site that I recommend is tradelinesupply.com. Those trade lines will report. Usually it takes about about a week to report to your credit profile, and y'all will see the results once they hit your credit profile. But like I said, wait till your credit profile is already kind of cleaned up before adding those trade lines. Use the trade lines to replace what your credit profile is lacking. Don't use them as a quick fix because so-and-so said that her score went up 200 points when she bought a trade line. So don't use it like that. Use the trade lines to replace the information that your credit profile is lacking. And that's how you're going to build up a better credit profile and a higher credit score. And I'll also list some other credit builder accounts that y'all can add also that will help boost y'all score and build y'all's credit profile. The better the credit profile, the better your ability to get approved for stuff. Okay, so we're going to go to the next lesson.